So that was Halle Berry come out in the news, not because she's starring in a new movie role or maybe she won an award, but no, she is now about to pay a lot of money in child support to her ex-husband. Now remember, she had another man as well, and she's paying child support for that child. But let's get into this. So Halle Berry, it said long road to finalizing her divorce from Olivier Martinez, it says officially over. It said after the ex-couple hammered out their formal custody and child support arrangement that has the actress paying a lot of money. So they said back in 2015, Halle and Olivier split after 2 years of marriage. The exes have one child, 9-year-old Maceo. It said they had a prenup. They said, but the case still dragged on for years because there were some unresolved issues on custody and child support. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of you men are talking about getting prenups. I will tell you up front, child support, child custody cannot go into a prenuptial agreement. Only thing that can go into a prenuptial agreement is about, property, money, XYZ. So you're not relieved of child support just because you have a prenuptial agreement. Now, this goes for male or female. Let's say fast forward to August 2023, legal documents were filed in LA County Superior Court. It said which officially tied up the remaining loose ends on the issues. According to the new court documents, Halle and Olivier agreed to joint legal and physical custody of their son. It say the documents also say Maceo will attend individual and family counseling. Halle and her daughter Nala, it say from her ex-boyfriend Gabriel Aubrey, it say can sit in during the family sessions. It say but Halle's current boyfriend Van Hunt is not allowed to participate. It said Halle will have custody of Maceo Monday to Wednesday, and Olivier will get him Wednesday to Friday with some variations due to school closures. The pair will alternate custody of Maceo on the weekends. It said as for child support, it said Halle is ordered to pay $8,000 a month. It says she will also pay an additional 4.3% of all income she receives above $2 million. It also continues to say Halle must cover Maceo's private school tuition, 100% of extracurricular activities, including soccer. She's also on the hook for Maceo's health insurance, both medical and dental, as well as any uninsured expenses. Now, how many times as men we've talked about this child support system? And I am a veteran of the child support system. I paid my child support for about a good 8 years. Thank God I didn't have no issues in that department. I paid my child support. I never had my passport suspended and all of that. But I got to see how dirty that system is. I got to sit in and just listen to other cases of how a lot of men have been just railroaded, especially when you become a successful man. And a lot of women support this system, but there are women who are successful as well. And they're getting dragged over the coals and they calling foul. Remember, Mary J. Blige was calling foul about the alimony. How many times men have talked about alimony? There's no reason nobody should be getting no freaking alimony. No. Now, child support, listen, let's call it what it is. No child in America spends $8,000 a month. I got children. I've never spent $8,000 a month on my child's clothes, food, health insurance, any extracurricular activity, even school, private school. You want to put your child in private school. Still never spent $8,000 a month at all. Most American households don't make $8,000 a month. So just because she's a successful actress, she has some money, this guy obviously not. He gets to live off of her because that's basically what he's doing. He's living off of her. The other one she had, living off of her. This is what men was been talking about for a long time. And every time it happens to a woman, they screaming and crying foul like, wait a minute, we do live in the same country. And because we live in the same country, these things could happen to women as well. Men and women should be getting together and saying, wait a minute, this stuff needs to go. It needs to be a limit. It needs to be a cap on how much child support can be paid. It shouldn't be based on no income. So think about it. He don't have to do crap. And this the messed up part about it, which y'all not realizing. They have a 50-50, literally a 50-50 split. Most courts don't put child support on you when you have that kind of split. She got the child part of the week. He got the child part of the week and the alternating weekends. That's literally a 50-50 split. Child support usually get thrown out the window because she's paying for things, he's paying for things, etc. So she got to pay for tuition for school, medical and dental. But the crazy part for me out of all this is she got to pay in addition to the $8,000, 4.3% on top of that for anything she makes over $2 million. Now, I'm going to have to go there. I'm going to have to go there because it's the truth. Now, Halle wasn't getting in relationships at all, you know, with the brothers. And let's call it what it is. When you go in these courts, racism come into play. They do. And you see the brother that she with, Van Hunt, now. And she say she's so happy with him, I bet you are. Because Van not going to treat you like that. Them dudes like that you laid up with, the system favors them. Let's call it what it is. I know men of all communities deal with these issues. I know. I've seen it. It is not discriminatory. But when you come into those courts, as a black person, just call it what it is. And you dealing with people, especially of the other community, that comes into play too. It does. Sorry, it's just part of the conversation. But she's having an expensive lesson right now about some of that. Now, if she would have maybe thought about the type of men she fooling with, see, the interesting part is, you know how many women talk about, well, he's not on my level. I can't fool with him. He needs to level up. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. But when it comes to other men, they don't have to get on your level, but brothers have to. And then those men is the one that ran her pocket. Whatever brother she dated in the past, can't say he ran her pocket. Just saying. So I disagree completely on what she has to pay. It doesn't make sense, especially with a 50-50 custody split. It doesn't. But ladies, some of you are successful. Maybe you should join the fight too. Maybe you should be getting on your people in your state to say, hey, no, child support needs a cap on it. It needs a cap. Period. There's a whole lot of things you can do. Listen, I understand parents should be taking care of their children. They should. But $8,000 a month, really? When the majority of the country don't even make that doesn't make sense.